I'm not good at Counter-Strike. I've been playing it since I was a kid, but I still suck. And you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being buns at Counter-Strike. I'm tired of taking advice from the pros that just isn't helping, and I'm ready for a change. But if all the modern advice isn't helping, where do I look?
Oh my god, what the hell?
What kind of Wilson is this? Look at this guy at first glance. It might seem like he's just cleaning sewer, but he's actually collecting sewer oil in China. My ears burn!
I see. You know him, you love him. It's our favorite military tactician that probably didn't exist? Sun Tzu and the Art of War. You've seen the quotes. Sun Tzu is a genuine legend in the military strategist space. With advice that is still used today, I think Mr. Tzu's little book here may be the key to fixing my atrocious performance in CS. At first, I thought this would be an easy implementation of ideas. Just read some words and put that knowledge into Counter-Strike. But oh boy, was I in for a real treat.
Sun Tzu said, "One cartload from the enemy is worth 20 of one's own." Translation: I'm gonna fucking steal their ops.
Foraging from the enemy is crucial for victory. The more you take from them, the less you use from your own supply. Everyone knows that, except for me it seems. I never seem to take the enemy's weapons even when my friends are screaming at me to pick them up. That op the enemy just dropped right in front of me, it might as well just be David Blaine toying with me because I don't see it. I didn't even know they dropped grenades. If I can manage to focus on taking the enemy's weapons and tools and minimize how often I purchase equipment, it means I can go into every round with full armor, throwables, and a defuse kit. I'll be prepared for every encounter because I'm basically leech maxing.
Sun Tzu said, "If you know yourself and know your enemy, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." Translation: Focus on yourself, King, but watch your ops closely.
Self-reflection is humanity's greatest fear. Why would I want to figure myself out? I want to kill myself. However, Sun Tzu is kinda spitting here. I'm always trying to figure out how to improve myself through changes in strategy, but I never took the time to learn what kind of player I am. And I sure as hell never bothered figuring out what kind of player the enemy is. So, what kind of player am I? Well, let's see. I'm timid, I'm easily distracted, I'm easily demotivated, I'm contradictory, I'm confusing to my teammates and myself, I lack confidence, I'm clumsy, and I'm just not a good shot. Well, now I feel much worse about myself. So how does this improve anything? I know what my weaknesses are, so that means I know what I must improve. I can't implement confident strategies if I'm not confident. I can't understand why my strategies don't work if I'm confusing myself. And I sure as hell can't hit the enemy if my aim sucks. The fix? Play to my strengths. If I'm timid, move with my squad and avoid being a loser loner. If I'm distracted, focus on where I believe the enemy to be and try my damnedest to not let my mind wander, even if my teammates are getting straight teeth behind me. I'm not a good shot? Be more patient. This goes hand in hand with lacking confidence. If I believe I'll hit every shot, then my wrist relaxes and my legs stop shaking. Even if I die, it'll make future gunfights much less daunting. That's all well and good, but what about the enemy?
Clara!
That is a much harder task to accomplish. I basically just gotta be a damn tabloid and stalk the enemy and all of their mannerisms. Watch how they play, take note of the weapons they use, notice how confident or timid they are. This way, I understand what I'm up against and can change my strategy accordingly. Look, easier said than done, of course, but as long as I try, then it'll probably, hopefully, maybe make me a better player. This one seemed to be much more important later on in my experiment.
Sun Tzu said, "If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him." Translation: Rage bait.
This one is simple. Rage bait the enemy. Make them seethe, Or cope, perhaps. Make them mauled so they get frustrated and make simple mistakes.
Holy shit!
Ignite a pathetic fire within them that will make them lose their cool and take advantage of their short-sighted decisions. Be obnoxious in chat, play like a rat, and watch them go psychotic.
Oh, I'm glad.
Plus, it's just funny seeing them get angry at nonsense.
Sun Tzu said, "We are not fit to lead an army on the march unless we are familiar with the face of the country." Translation: You gotta learn the maps, bro.
I'ma keep it a buck. I haven't memorized FPS game maps since like Modern Warfare 2. I can tell you all the secrets of Terminal or High Rise, but everything else is one big blur. I've probably played on Dust 2 an integer of times, but I still forget all the sniping angles and spots to quickly traverse the map, and it definitely costs me every single time. I'll spend time studying the maps, learning all its innards and outards. Mirage will become my terminal, Dust my high rise, but ain't no way in hell am I learning Italy. That map is doo-doo stains on my Hanes underwear.
Sun Tzu said, "Simulated disorder postulates perfect discipline. Simulated fear postulates courage. Simulated weakness postulates strength." Translation: Act dumb, act scared, act weak.
A great way to trick the enemy is just by acting like a scared, bumbling idiot so that the enemy lowers their guard. Once their guard is lowered, completely switch up on them and strike.
Pretty good.
Make stupid plays, flashbang myself, jump around when the enemy snipes me, just act like a mouth breather.
Number 5.
Godzilla.
Phil the Gorilla.
Sun Tzu said, "Form a single united body while the enemy is split up into factions. We are the whole, pitted against several parts of the whole." Translation: Work together.
It's easy to think you're the next simple and start trying to 1v5 the enemy team, even though your entire team is still alive, but this leads to disaster. If everyone works together and everyone's on the same page, there's a much higher chance you won't get domed by an op and flashed 28 times while a terrorist is just sliding it up and down on your cheeks.
Sun Tzu said, "Attack him where he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected." Translation: It's not that hard to understand this one, dog.
Basically, attack the enemy when and where they least expect it, and make sure you put yourself in places where you're not expected to be. The enemy is just gonna blow your shit smooth off when you're peeking down mid-doors on Dust 2. But placing yourself in spots that aren't used much will make it so you'll win gunfights much more. Or so I hope. Alright, now that we know what we gotta do to improve according to Mr. Tzu and the war arts, let's put it to the test. I think I see improvement. I'm not too sure. I used all the advice I was given by Mr. Tzu. I picked up the enemy weapons and throwables, I studied myself and then tried to study the enemy players. We worked hard as a team. I would relocate and try to catch the enemy off guard. I looked like a bumbling idiot, mainly because I am, and I studied the maps for a while. The result... Alright, that really sucks. Something wasn't adding up. The art of war has been around for so long. It literally is the guidebook to military strategy.
Sun Tzu said that, and I'd say he knows a little more about fighting than you do, pal, because he invented it.
Why was it not helping me now with CS? I think it's the fact that, you know, this is CS. Maybe the art of war could have helped me if I was just more competent. Sure, I didn't see a massive improvement in my ability, but I definitely am better than I was yesterday, and that's what it's really all about. Sun Tzu's tactics are wonderful and laid the foundations for all military strategy, but at the end of the day, Counter-Strike is Counter-Strike. The only way you get better at Counter-Strike is by aim training, map knowledge, movement training, and a hell of a lot of playing and getting shit stomped. It sucks. I wanted to get better at this game that I've grown to love recently. The usual tips just didn't cut it anymore, so I wanted to try something new. But with enough practice, I will get much better at CS. That or I blow my brains out, you know, one or the other.